Welcome back, 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. I'm Matty Marshall, blessed to have Marcelo Morgat, one of the best to ever do it from San Diego Dynasty, fresh off a win against Legion. It was a pretty solid game. And right now we got Houston Heat taking on the Ironmen and Revo and the Hurricanes. This is going to be a pretty good set, Marcelo. I'm excited about this one, particularly because the Ironmen did just step up and won against AC Diesel, so they got a chance in this one.
Yeah, 100%, Matty. They had a huge game against Diesel this morning. That's one that you circle on the schedule for sure to see where you're standing. So here we go, Houston Heat breaking out on your left, and I think the Ironmen did lose one player on the snake side, so 5-on-4 advantage for Houston Heat.
Hughes had a really big game for them. He was a big part of the reason that they were able to take that victory against Diesel. Connor Kelly getting a spin out here in this, getting a start, and they take a lot of ground with the young fast kid, gets all the way into snake, one off the breaks, catching a ton of pressure. San Monville had a real solid game for Houston Heat in the win against the Hurricanes.
The patience.
So patient.
Oh my gosh.
It's a really good
that
position for him.
Totally,
and
agreed.
Talk to me a little bit about, in case somebody's just tuning in, that wedge structure that Sam's in is an important part of the field.
Yeah, it certainly is, Matty. There's so many big bunkers over here that initially when you looked at it, looked like it was going to play really fast, but there's actually really crafty ways to slow the field down. That's why we've seen a lot of slow points. And patience is being rewarded out here. And it's, you notice like these teams are getting into these really long points and you get a little bored, and that's when mistakes are being had. So you just got to be extra disciplined on this field. Sam played that one point earlier against the Hurricanes. Absolutely phenomenal. I think he waited on that for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Finally got the shot and a huge point.
Yeah, he's really good in those situations. He's also carrying a ton of paintballs because everyone's shooting a lot of paint in these long points. So he's going to crawl back, and Connor still just posted up, trying to look towards that D side, but the Ironmen with a little bit of penetration on that side already, getting into D3, and then also Anita into the wedge as well, looking also cross field, just like Sam is, looking towards that D side.
Yeah, I love the new look Ironmen. Love that Shane and Paxson are back. The new pickups they have, I'm really excited to see what they do. Kyle Nicolaou's a stud over there on the Dorito side. He had a great season last year when he came to the team. And right now, Down Bodies is pushing into Houston Heat.
Yeah, Kyle was a huge pickup for the Ironmen and a big reason that they were able to be successful and make it all the way to the finals at the 4th event. And and I just, of course, man, I wore the shield for 6 years and want the Ironmen to be as competitive as possible. So really love what they're doing to try to make that team, and honestly to show up and win that first game was a huge statement to the league.
Huge, yeah, 100%.
But to draw both Diesel and Heat, I mean, you guys have a tough bracket, but the Heat, Revo, Hurricanes, Diesel, and Ironman bracket.
This is the next toughest bracket, for sure.
Yeah, so the A and B are the toughest brackets. Everyone agrees on that. Which, if you can make it out, well, then it's going to give you a much better chance on Sunday to have those tough fights. So right now, Tyler Harmon, your boy from Play the Game podcast, right behind Connor Kelly. And, we've seen Tyler just play pretty much every single point for Houston Heat since he got on the team.
Yeah, you don't take Tyler off the field.
Yeah, it's really tough because he's that good. So, last year when we had the All-Star votes, and unfortunately the weather and the Hurricanes, everything would not allow us to play the All-Star game, unfortunately. But he was
2 events in a row.
Yeah, he was one of the highest vote getters. Looks like Kyle going to be taking that walk and shot out of that spot. So Houston Heat, just discipline, zone control, and winning some gunfights here.
Not super mad about that if you're the Ironman. You're down a body. You got to try to make something happen. You don't want this point to go too long. And then Trent Nita tries to go make something happen. He gets shot.
Yeah, Nita pops the top, but again, you can't really criticize somebody trying to make something happen when you're down bodies.
Especially on this field, if you don't have a chance of winning, you kind of want to get the point over.
Yeah. If you're going to lose it, might as well lose it fast, because either that or your coach is going to towel.
Right.
So Heat going to go up 1. So with your game, it's interesting because the way that D side is playing with how much emphasis is being put here on the snake side and in the middle, it's really good they have you over there. You had a really good match over there, but you need someone that can switch to offense and steal points when needed, because we have seen that happen quite a bit on the D side, but sometimes you're just going to be on an island on that D side, and that is it. It's just you over there at the can or in one of the Doritos, and maybe you have somebody close to you, maybe you won't, depending on how things shake out. But I think that's going to be a really good spot for you to play over there.
I love that side of the field. Everything's heads up. You can see all the stuff over there. You like the moves are systematic, right? Methodical side of the field. So always enjoy playing those kind of sides. And yeah, so far, it's take the opportunity when it's there, but you just got to be patient. That's kind of the whole field, But the snake side's definitely a little easier to get further off the break, a little easier to get further, in the first part of the game. Then it slows down. But here we go. We have Revo on the left, Hurricanes on the right. Hurricanes taking a big bite all the way into this snake 1.
Yeah, Hurricanes, not a bad match that they played in their first one. It was a really low-scoring game, a 3-1 win for Houston Heat. Nick Ripple going to be taking the walk, though. Nick had a pretty good showing, but I like that the Hurricanes picked up Nick. I'm a big fan of Nick Ripple. I mean, you played against him a lot overseas. So right now, here comes Baltimore Revo. Definitely going to be a little bit angry about the game that they just dropped to Diesel. and out for blood right now. Taking some ground. They got Caleb Abel up here on the snake side pretty early. Benny Carroll's been playing that wedge. Henry Sense is going to move on over to that D side, and they're pushing hot and heavy here pretty quick.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're Revo, you're definitely upset about that last match. It looked like they were all but going to win that point. You know, the penalty was a little unnecessary that they got. I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. I didn't quite see, but they had so many bodies alive at the end of that to bring them within one with like 40 seconds. Who knows what could happen in that game, but...
Yeah, and a little bit of a different look for Revo this year with Tom Ford coming in as the new owner, you know, throwing his might around, trying to get some players, and he did. So, you know, but it's just like with all the chaos that happened in the offseason, I love watching these first events because you just don't know what's going to happen. How quickly are these new teams going to adjust and get in that new vibe and the flow with these new players? And that's what Revo's contending with right now. I love the talent they picked up, though.
Agreed. It just is going to take time, right? Chemistry is one of the most important things in the game recently. You know, I mean, it always has been, but it seems like the last couple years, especially with these fields, teams that know how to play off of each other really well. You know, and as I say, that huge move through the center for Henry Sense from Revo coming down.
I think that might be Geiger. I think, yeah, that's
Zach
Geiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zach Geiger came over from Energy Elite last year.
Good call, Maddie.
He's a big dude, but he moves really well for a big dude.
Just profiling a little bit.
Yeah, but it's interesting because teams have twins, right?
Yeah.
So him and Henry are built similar. He's got a little bit more in the shoulders than Henry, but they have similar builds. But yeah, solid point there for Revo. Aggressive, you know, taking ground on the breakout. No real big mistakes at all. And we see them now in the pits. And now we got Houston Heat coming back out, point number 2 against the LA Ironmen.
It's funny in that point, Revo got 2 kills actually really early, and still it's a 5-on-3 for, you know, how long? 2 minutes? Usually on fields, you get 2 kills off the break. The point ends pretty quick. That's a testament to how this field is going to play, and this is day 1.
Yeah, we were joking. We've been joking about it since about set 2. We're like, wow, Sunday paintball already here. 2 hours into day 1.
We'll see. Watch it speed up on Sunday.
that would be great.
Huge move for the Ironmen all the way to Dorito 3 over there on the break, and Chad George into this Snake 1. Houston Heat loses Sam Monville out of the back center. 5-on-4 advantage for the Ironmen.
And which the way that Monville's been playing, that right now, that's a big kill here. You get Monville off the field, not have someone in that key wedge. Ooh, a minor penalty going to be assessed though on that D side for the Ironman that pulls off Keith DeVitt. And so they are going to transition a body over that way with Gomez as they get a body here also into the wedge as well too. So just 3 players left alive for the Ironman. Advantage to Houston Heat. Great communication from Tyler Harmon's got a huge voice. You know, there's certain things you can't teach height, and you really can't teach the volume of someone's voice.
Agreed.
And he's got a huge booming voice. Yeah, how chaotic is it over on that D side to know where the bodies are here on the snake side? Because the D side is traditional D side. It's like you said, great visibility is great. You know where everyone is, but getting that crossfield view, because you are going to be, you know, shooting those crossfield shots. Obviously, you're relying on some communication, but just pure visibility. How tough is it to kind of keep the count over there if you could just from where you're looking at?
You can't do it yourself, Matty. You have to be in the right positions to see all the different spots. So, you know, it's a lot of assuming as well. If you're not in certain places, you have to assume that they could be in a certain position.
So like a process of elimination.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then it's a lot of teamwork, making sure, you know, your players are giving you the information of the gaps they're watching.
Looks like another body coming off for the Ironman. Gomez still alive over there. And then here comes the move on the snake side as Hughes is going to run right in, begging for a penalty, and they're going to get it. So Tyler Harmon, as Chad George got ran down, here goes Brian Moorhead. He's going to hit the afterburners, but that is all the bodies. So another solid point for Houston Heat.
Yeah, and the Ironmen are going to be starting down 2 bodies, it looks like, if that was indeed a red. A red got thrown, but sometimes it's not the case. We'll see.
Yeah, every now and then it'll, you know, red goes up, but they're meant to throw a yellow, and then vice versa as well, too. Sometimes like, no, man, I saw a yellow flag. It's like, sorry, I meant to grab the red.
Right.
So, yeah, Houston Heat feeling pretty good right now. A couple solid ones for them, and the Ironmen definitely going to be, looks like if that is indeed a major, going to be at a deficit, and Houston Heat will be on a power play. So now we'll see, is Baltimore Revo going to keep up the aggressive looks? So, you know, we had a couple teams play really well, the Bears and New York Extreme.
Yeah, shout out to the Bears.
Yeah, Bears, man, looked really good today. New York Extreme actually also looked really good. But they were throwing a diversity of looks. They were playing a little bit hyper-aggressive, pull it back a little bit, go back to aggressive, but not the same look. And so I'm just wondering tomorrow, and then also now, so Revo just came out aggressive. Are we going to see aggressive again? You guys are throwing different looks as well, too. That's the way it's supposed to be done. We want to try to be as unpredictable as possible. So is Revo going to go offense right now again? And it looks like they're not. So they're going to hold up this time.
And they shoot the Dorito corner on the break.
So they go heavy guns, and it works out for them. 5-on-4 situation in favor of Baltimore Revo with a lot of time left on the clock, 13-13 to go.
See Revo on your screen there. 5-on-4 advantage.
And Hurricanes now going to be pushing the issue. They get Stuart Ridgel, who was one of the standouts last year in the middle of the field for the Hurricanes. One of the big reasons they did as well as they did. A very inspiring story for the Hurricanes. A bunch of grown men taking a run at the divisional ranks, then semi-pro, going into pro, doing pretty well in their first year last year. I mean, hell, they went undefeated in Chicago in the prelims. But the big question for some of these other teams, and we're not there yet because we're not to Sunday yet. We're only on day one, but I'm just wondering, some of these young teams, when they get to Sunday, are we going to see them go farther, go deeper? You know, a couple teams did. Level was able to take a third, but they were very inconsistent last year. And so with the Hurricanes, you know, really no big changes. They lose Smith, and then they pick up, they pick up Ripple. But other than that, it's the same guys they've had for years.
Yeah, which is actually why I think they came into the league and played so well too. They had that chemistry, you know. Like, again, there's a comfort when you feel good about who you're playing next to, right? Yeah, and they do get a kill.
Yeah, Saucedo taking the walk.
So 4-on-4, and actually better field positioning for the Hurricanes now.
Yeah, the Hurricanes do have to. So dead on your screen, you see that Revo still they do have that 50 brick.
He's kind of unless are they in the corner over here? I think so.
Yeah, they're shooting at
okay.
Not anymore, though. He just got out of that spot. So that's Silos Cortez, new pickup for Revo. He actually had some good looks in that first one, as Henry Sense is going to walk off from that brick. Now Ridgel's going to do a little tactical retreat and not feeling any pressure, pops the top, then put back in. Silos Cortez looks like he wants to make a move. He's wrapping around, trying to put some pressure downfield. He's always an offensive-minded player. Hurricanes launch into D2 and immediately catch the first stream. Oh, wow. Okay, I thought I saw something break off him, but then the ref. Okay, yeah, so he's coming off.
Yeah, it's been a back-and-forth game. 3-on-3 now.
Now Hurricane's going to take that 50 brick with Ridger right behind him. And they still have a player, back corner bunker here on the Snake side. I believe that's Ripple. So Revo now with kind of just been content to sit in these gunfighting positions with the Can, the Tower, and the Aztec. And I think that might be it for Revo.
Yeah, I believe it's a 3-on-3, Matty.
I think it's a 3-on-3 as well, too. Well, Ridgel goes across into the wedge to try to get over to that D side. Still head checking here towards the Snake side, though. There's no one to look at for him on this side quite yet. But when you're playing against a Silos, you got to know your enemy, right? Silos,
yeah.
He likes to play offense. Doesn't really like to sit in bunkers and gunfight for very long.
Yeah, I'd like to see Ridgel now try to get out to that Dorito 2, kind of go back. He would have to deal with the Can in front of him, but as soon as he puts him in, go back and get to the tape over there, give them a big advantage.
Now would be the time. No one's looking at Ridgel right now. All three guns are looking towards the Snake side.
Yeah.
For Revo.
Now he's got the move. Now he has to deal with the Can again.
Yeah, now he has to deal with the Can. And I was going to say, Silos was looking that way for a second. Now he's going to go up to the tower.
Oh, and Ripple gets shot out of the Snake corner. That's a bad death right there.
Yeah, that's a tough death. But then Silos comes in, he gets smoked. Is this Bell?
Back and forth. Boom, and Revo loses another 2-on-1 situation. Revo does fill out to the Dorito corner.
Yeah, I think it's Pate and Ridgel here doing work right now for the Hurricanes. Trying to put the finishing touches here on this point to tie this game up. 9:20 to go. It is Pate. He was at that brick and now just trying to get the angle on that back corner bunker, and that is going to do it. So, yeah, that was a seesaw back and forth battle. Tie game with probably right around 9 minutes by the time that Pate gets up there and hits that buzzer. Yeah, that's the first time that we've seen Nick in that back corner not aggressively pushing forward and ended up getting dinked out of there. He's also got it's interesting too. I believe in his talent. I've seen some great things out of him in Europe. There might be a little bit of a learning curve though coming onto a new squad.
Absolutely.
He hasn't had very much time at all. He's had one weekend with them, and that weekend was a rough travel day. I was like, how was that first weekend of practice? You got out there, right? He's like, yeah, absolutely. It took me 25 hours to get there. And I'm like, you exaggerate? He's like, no, Matt, it literally took me 25 hours to get there. He's like, 2 canceled flights. He's like, they gave me $300 off for a travel voucher, but it still was not ideal.
Brutal.
Yeah, so But yeah, and that's kind of the story. But that's always the story for the first event. I love watching first events, the first event and the last event. I mean, I love watching all the events, but there's just all these evolving stories with the, the best.
And this was a crazy off season in the last month.
Insane.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Season. Yeah, and I was also interested with your team to see how you guys were going to utilize the different bodies that you had. And, I mean, it looked really good. We still got one more coming up here.
Right.
You're going to be taking on the Saints. But it looked pretty ideal out there. Yeah, Legion put 1 point on you, but you guys pretty much had control of that whole game.
Yeah, really excited with the new pickups we have. Harrison Fry, Chris Shear, absolute studs, and we have players that have been on the team for a long time, too. Mikey, obviously, I'm looking for him to have a big year. Mikey's been really chopping in the bit. He puts in the work. And then we got a lot of veterans. Our team is mostly the same. So, obviously, it hurts anytime you lose a player like Dalton and Kyle going over to Diesel. But, I'm happy with the pickups we made. There's a lot of opportunity for them to grow with the team. And so far, they fit in very well.
Yeah, that's a question. Just like you said, is how quick is it?
Right.
Because there's been so little time to train together.
It all depends on what attitude you come in with, right? And both of them have come in with absolutely phenomenal attitudes, and so that helps a lot, really does.
So now Houston Heat with a 2-point lead on the Ironmen. Ironmen need to answer. Ideally, right now would be the point. You don't want to let Houston Heat build a 3-point lead on a layout like this.
I don't know why.
The Ironmen only 3 bodies out there right now, though.
And they're just running. Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I forgot they started down bodies.
You're like, wait, why did he run to D4?
Like,
it's like, you crazy maniac. What are you doing?
Especially after getting shot going there the very last point. But, no, that's actually the smart play, guys. If you start down bodies and you're down points, you do not want to burn time in that kind of play.
Yeah. So they risked the body to send Kyle all the way to D4. As soon as he got shot and it was a 5-on-2, immediately they concede the point. So, yeah, I get it. That's textbook right there.
I do think, personally, this feels just a little unique, and I was, kind of talking about it with our guys. If you have 3 guys, maybe stand in all blind spots and try to shoot 2 people on the break, because both sides of this field actually have very shootable bodies.
Yeah.
You just can't do it from the back center per se, but you can shoot those interior spots from all sorts of blinds, blind zones back there, and it's a risk, but it's the same thing as running a D4, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought on it. Both can work. The point is take the extra risk if you're in that situation, right? If you're in that situation, take the risk, give yourself a chance. If it doesn't work, cool.
And you're not supposed to win at the low body 3-on-5, and you just got a penalty. Yeah, it's probably not going to work out for you anyway. Might as well take a risk. Yeah, the off-the-break situation's been interesting. The morning was a bit of a bloodbath, and then it got a little bit more. We've seen a decent amount of 5-on-5 breaks as the teams, again, only one weekend to work with and practice day yesterday, but teams are starting to figure out where the survivability is going to come from. So less bodies off the break, but it's when guys are getting a little bit unconventional. Heavy guns have worked. It's kind of fascinating. It is a little bit of a slower field, but it's pretty tactical.
Like the strategy absolutely.
Is
very tactical.
2 bodies coming off early here for the Hurricanes. They're down to 3 real quick. They do shoot 1, though, so it's a 4-on-3 situation, but the Hurricanes pushing quickly into the 50 on your screen and in the snake.
Oof.
And another body coming off of Benny Carroll. So 3-on-3 now. Man, I thought for a second this was going to be Revo's point. I look over, see 2 bodies immediately walk off for Hurricanes, but then flip my head over, head check back to Revo's side, and they got a body walking off, and then they lose Benny right after that. And the Hurricanes stealing the initiative, taking the ground. They got the 50-yard line with Ridgel right now, and Ridgel's going to go on to Revo's side of the field. And the 3 bodies are kind of trapped a bit right now. They're in the back corner bunker, snake side, back center, and the Aztec. No one on the D side at all. Stewart doesn't have to worry about that side.
He's cooking.
Talk about the blind area. He's playing the blind area right now, Marcelo.
Oh, my gosh. He shoots the corner. What a move. That might be a move of the day. That's the best move I've seen today.
We got $500 at stake.
For move of the day or prelims?
Prelims.
Prelims, okay.
$500. That is on the list. That might be it. The one that was a crisper move. One that was more important was Matt Askren with level. It's tied 2-2.
Okay.
There's about 30 seconds left. And all the chaos goes down on the snake side, and he runs coast to coast, shoots a body, and wins the game for him with about 5 seconds left. It wasn't as fluid as that beautiful 3-pack we just saw, so it's still up.
Was that the 7 a.m. game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one often.
That's
I don't know. That move right there was really high paintball IQ. That was amazing to see. 3-on-3. He knew where the bodies were, and he picked them apart very slowly, connected on the shot, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You make the move, and you know you're going into a gun. Your first ball has to connect, otherwise the jig is up. And you get shot right there.
I mean, I've been singing Stuart Ridgel's praises all since last year because he was so impressive up the middle, but the way he put that together. Yeah, so we got $500 at stake and $1,000 for Sunday, and that's courtesy of the Mary Catherine and Pate Smith family, actually, for this one. So
yep, shout out to Pate.
Yeah, big paintball patrons. But yeah, that's on the list, man. That was a better move, but
the moment was
Aspen,
bigger.
the moment was bigger.
Yeah,
for
that's
Aspen.
always
he
tough,
won
right?
the
Which is
game
more
for the
important.
team.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's
I'm more of a moment guy, to be honest. And
I know you are. That's one of the reasons I love you.
Yeah, I think it matters in sports, right? Like, when do you make the big moves? I'd rather have a player that makes the big moves in the big moments rather than, early in a game any day of the week.
Absolutely. So, still, we got a full day of competition to figure that out. Right now, though, the Ironmen trapped in the back and losing a body early, so Houston Heat with the advantage. 3-0, 9 minutes and 30 seconds left still to go, though. There's a lot of time left in this match. Ironmen able to get a body out of that back center. Here comes Houston Heat. Houston Heat crawling up into the wedge with Chad Boucher. We got Chad George in pretty good spot. Insert bunker snake side. Tyler always right behind him. And then two bodies on the D side. Great crossfield spread here right now for Houston Heat.
You could see Heat starting to get, they obviously have had their core for a long time, but even with Tyler, like, they just look so comfortable together,
Right. Yeah, and that you can't speak more about, that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah,
when you have that level of talent, but it's that level of composure and the level of, it's almost unspoken teamwork, too.
Yeah,
so I look across, see you do something, Ryan plays off of that. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go do this, Ryan. He just can look, head check, see you do something. He's going to play off that, you play off of him. And Heat has that same capabilities because they don't like making player changes. They've only made a few player changes in years.
There's something to that.
And now they're still flooding up the field. Chad gets into snake one. Fedorov goes up to the brick, and CRI in the sky as it pans on over. They are going to be losing Chad, but Ironmen lose a body at the same time with Al Fernandez walking off.
Yeah, the Ironmen are not in great spots right now. Stuck in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
Houston Heat is wide on pretty much both sides. I don't know if you would consider this wide on the snake side, but they're wider.
They don't have outside contain, but they are wider. Yeah, absolutely. Because Chad's wider than the inside body for the Ironmen, and then Tyler's outside of Chad. So, yeah, the Ironmen are not in great spots right now and going to be losing another body. So the opportunities are starting to dwindle here. It's really going to be up to Keith DeVette. I can't see who this is here in the mini wall, but somebody's going to have to step up.
I think that's Gomez.
Adam Gomez?
I think so.
Yeah, he's tucked in so tight I can't quite see. Yeah, that is Adam Gomez. Yeah, you got it.
Hey, I got one.
Yeah, know thy enemy. You know these guys, Marcelo. Tyler,
we're far away up here.
Yeah, it's a long view. But Tyler Harmon, he dives into the snake. Fedorov's going to coast out behind him, and they're just trying to make sure that they got the codes right, they got the kills right, and they got the positions correct.
Yeah, it's a funny thing about this field. No matter what, you almost never feel like you have an advantage. It's a really, really strange thing, You can be up 5-on-2, and you're still playing extra cautious.
Yeah, so Gomez gets peeled off, Keith DeVitt gets peeled off, and there goes Ryan Moorhead, who was doing a good job for Houston Heat on that D side. So, yeah, Houston Heat looking like Houston Heat right now.
Ironmen must be concerned about spread now because they're not blowing the buzzer.
Well, so the Ironmen win the game against Diesel, but it was an OT win, overtime win by 1 point. So this is now sitting at 6 minutes and 42 seconds left. They're down by 4 already. So they are going to concede the point. But, yeah, Mike and Shane were together right there kind of having a conversation like, hey, maybe let's burn a little bit of this clock off.
Yeah.
Let's get a little bit of that clock off, maybe another 20 seconds because, if the Ironmen go 1-1 but lose this one big, it still puts them in a bad spot for tomorrow. But again, realistically, if you're Mike or if we were coaching that team right now and we had like a no BS conversation with each other about what we expect out of the squad, dude, if they could go 2-2, here,
and one of your wins is against Diesel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's,
absolutely.
That's still a good look for
something
an
to build off
team.
of.
100%. Yeah. And it's tough to say that. They're probably not telling their guys that. Maybe they're not even thinking that themselves.
Of course.
But again, up here, we have to call it like we see it. And when you have a new squad come together like that, it's going to take time.
Of course.
The fact they already beat a team like Diesel is a big statement to the league. So, yeah, you don't want to get murdered by Heat and then put yourself in a bad spot a worse spot to try to move on.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
All the way, Hurricanes, 50 off the break, and it's gonna be taking the walk. Who was that? This is Stewart over here? No, it's Searlight. Yeah, but off of that, Nick Ripple gets right into the snake. Off of that, and then one kill coming off. Is that 1 or 2 coming off for Revo?
2. Yeah, so 4-on-3 advantage for the Hurricanes right now. Benny Carroll making a move into the big brick.
Yeah, we talked about, or we've been talking about Marcelo. We'd like to get your opinion on this, and this is just paintball in general. I wouldn't say it's paintball 101. It's like paintball 504, but what's working out here is people playing off chaos, right? So
Yes.
Nick just did get shot out of there, but he was able to take that spot. So they take the 50, he gets shot, but then they take the snake still. Now you have that bunker structure. Nick does lose a gunfight, that's not going to help, but the teams that are thriving out here, that are playing really well, are playing tight, they're playing close, they're playing off each other's chaos, they're taking advantage of one other player's move. And on a field that's a little chaotic like this, that seems to be the magic ticket.
Yeah, that's kind of always a ticket too, right?
Yeah,
Even more so on the fields that are like that you can lock up, because it'll be stagnant for so long, and then if a move gets made, you have to play off of it.
Because that might be your only
it might be your only opportunity. Yeah.
So Tal going to get thrown in here. So the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes win that one? Yeah, I think so.
They did.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was going to say, as we were having that conversation, I look up and I see them kind of looking off, walking off, not happy. I was like, But yeah, the Hurricanes staying in this one here. So different story in the Hurricanes Revo match, close game there. Here now, Houston Heat question. What are the Ironmen going to do? Can they stop the bleeding here? They don't want to lose 2 more and lose a mercy rule loss, going in -5 with the 1-1 tomorrow, because they are in the brutal bracket. Heat, Revo, Hurricanes, Diesel, Ironmen.
Game's far from over, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of
far
time
from
left
over.
still.
6 minutes, 6 something?
6:30 maybe, something right around there. So it looks
Yeah.
like they're going to go. Looks like Keith DeVitt going D side. They got Nita out there. Looks like they're going to spin Hughes again. Yeah, so Hughes had a big moment for him in that first match against Diesel. If it wasn't for Hughes, might have been a different story. And he's going to get all the way to the snake off the break. And then they're also going to get Nita up into that wedge here pretty quick, too. Houston Heat's going to answer. They get out wide on the D side. They also get Connor Kelly into the insert bunker here, snake side.
That kid is amazing, by the way. We had him on the podcast. Hadn't talked to him, much at all before that. And I really look forward to seeing, what he does this year. He's been a phenomenal, young talent, and then to get picked up on, by Houston Heat, be able to learn from those guys. Really, really excited to see what he can do. He's a really good kid, and just again, he just works really hard. Good talent.
We've all known a lot of 20-year-old dudes over the years of paintball, and he seems to really have his head screwed on straight for a 20-year-old. He really seems to get it. As a body coming off right now, Hughes taking the walk for the Ironmen. They're going to flood a body out to the D side, back corner bunker. Referee going to chase him in there. Did he make it clean is the question. He did not. No penalty assessed, though, but not looking good again for the Ironmen. No outside movement now with 3 bodies left alive in the middle of the field. 1 body up close here on your screen. Anita. Trent's going to have to clock in right now, though. And he's about to get the hammer dropped on him. Chad Boucher comes through, trades out. That's the correct move in that situation. And off of that, Connor Kelly gets scalped, though, trying to get in. So nice containment.
It's a 2-on-3, I think, right?
Definitely 2 bodies left alive for the Ironmen,
Yep.
and I count 3 for Heat.
This is a big one right here. If the Ironmen can find a way to pull this one out.
If they could, just for the spread conversation alone,
yeah.
if they can put 1 point on the board here. But yeah, 2-on-3 situation.
Devin, Ronnie, and who's over there on the Doritos side for Heat?
He just went into a different spot. He's blind. I'm blinded out from him right now. I can't see. But also with Heat, they already had they didn't have a huge win against the Hurricanes, but it was a win nonetheless with a +2. They're sitting at a +4 right now. Heat doesn't have to do much, man. Burn clock off. Yeah, I'm sure Heat would love to put we haven't had a mercy rule at all day.
I was going to say, there haven't been a lot of big spreads in the first place. Just not really that kind of field. It's Ryan Moorhead over there, crafty veteran Ryan Moorhead. Ronnie makes a nice move to come back to the snake side.
Yeah, you can see Houston Heat. They're tucking their spots. They're looking for moves, but most importantly, let's try to burn a couple minutes off this clock. Gonna get out to the back corner bunker with Stewart.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if that was the answer, to try to get to the tapes if you're down bodies on this one, just because that's like what you could lock off the most. I kind of feel like a move had to be made through the middle.
Well,
always easier to say from up here, though.
Yeah, the teams are definitely pushing towards the tapes. It's kind of one of those knee-jerk reactions. Get outside wide, get outside wide.
Right, yeah, 100%.
But it's a race to outside wide. Now both teams are outside wide, and this is definitely playing into Houston Heat's hands.
Yes.
Because, now they don't have to worry about anyone in the center if they know the count correct and they have the bodies identified in positions that they are.
Yeah, Gomez has nowhere to go because Ryan Moorhead is just on that Dorito side looking this way. And same thing with Keith DeVitt. He can't go down that Dorito side because of Ronnie. Now, if Ronnie looks back this way, it changes things a little bit, but looks like he's going to kind of stay committed that way.
Yeah, but those moves outside wide here for the Ironman, I mean, yeah, if you go up the center, Marcel, I mean, there is something to be said about the chaos that's created while making moves through those big bunkers, right? You never know. Could catch one sleeping, shoot him, get spins, get penalty, completely changes the course of it. Now, this is a little bit more of a traditional standard paintball situation, and it kind of plays to Heat's advantage.
And look, unless
somebody can win a gunfight on the tapes,
correct.
And then you get that outside container can move up.
Correct. Now, Ronnie came off of that, though, and it's allowing Keith to go down the field. Look, Keith is going to make a big move right now.
So Keith comes all the way through, but he didn't know where they were.
Oh, my gosh,
dude. So Keith came through looking for bodies. I mean, I like the aggression. There's not a lot of time left, so when he does stitch up Moorhead, no penalty assessed.
You know, it's unfortunate because he made his idea was right, and he should have bunkered Moorhead and turned and been able to shoot Ronnie.
But he tripped and fell, so that didn't help. And then also, it didn't seem like he knew exactly where Moorhead was. He was scanning as he was going through, which is smart. I mean, you want to keep your head on a swivel, but and again, I like the move. Can't really knock it too much.
Of course.
But now again, it just puts Heat in a really good spot because now they can burn even more clock. I mean, but again, with the Ironman and the spread, I mean, looking like they're probably going to lose by 5, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we've seen some low-body heroics year after year. I mean, I got a guy sitting next to me that's pretty good at low-body situations, and
it's not over till it's over.
Not over till it's over.
You got Gomez back there too. He's pretty good at these.
Yeah, really intelligent man and a hell of a gunfighter. So, but I'm just, if you're Heat, you're probably not gonna. If they know the count, probably not going to give Gomez much. Make him try to make some moves, get close, try to shoot him in transitions. Okay, so they don't know exactly where he's like. I don't see anyone over here. Can hear it. So good. I mean, good communication though from Devin and Ronnie. But again, if you're Heat, like, who cares? If you don't find the body and you don't get another point, you still have a 4-point win. Combined with the 2 you already have, you're going in 2-0 plus 6. That's a good day.
It's a good day.
Yeah, down to a minute.
I do think they'll find a way to get this point in the last 30 seconds. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little risk here for Heat. Right. Even if you do drop this mysteriously, let's say Gomez does play the hero and he wins the 1-on-2, which, by the way, I do have 1-on-2 Hormesis coins now.
Oh, what?
They're right in front of you.
Can we retroactively go back?
We can. We can.
All right. Take a few of those.
You earned them. So
nice. What do they look like? I want to see these things.
You can crack them open if you want. As we watch these last few seconds, because I mean, Gomez might commit, but he's a really smart guy, so he's probably thinking spread too. I think it's going to end like this. I think it's going to end 4-0. I think we're probably going to see 20 seconds ticked off, unless
it is weird.
If the issue.
If I was Ronnie, I would say, look, we got 15 seconds. I'm going to go try to win it. If not, Devin, stay alive.
But yeah, and we what I was going to say before we brought up the coins was, like, there's no risk for them, right? Even if they run through and they somehow drop it and Gomez plays the hero, it doesn't matter. You're still going to win the game. You still have a really good point spread moving into. So yeah.
They had it. They just did it, 10 seconds too late. Good match though.
Yeah.
Good match by Heat. Looked really comfortable, really controlled. That's what you expect from them.
Yeah. So Houston Heat, pretty solid day for them. Playing the upstart Hurricanes, who have looked again impressive last year in their first year as pros.
Oh, these are the one-on-one coins.
They're in there somewhere. That's what Alex told me. I just haven't had a chance to really kind of dig into them yet. I think they're a different color.
Shoot.
It's okay. That's why
I'll just have to wait. I'll have to earn one. Gotta earn one.
I'm sure you're gonna get another couple this season, Marcelo. You're always good for a couple low body special moments out there every year. Yeah. So right now, different situation here. Closer game. 1 point separate, or 2 points separates the Hurricanes and Revo. But man, the Hurricanes are looking pretty good right now. And they're going to take a huge bite, Marcelo, on that D cycle, all the way to D3 for the Hurricanes, and chew up a body on the break right now. So 5-on-4 situation in favor of the Hurricanes, and they took a ton of ground on that D side. That's also, that move, I think that with the way the guns are shifting, Marcelo, that's something that teams can have in the bag. Because as the guns,
I agree.
Yeah, as the guns start shifting middle, snake side, and because you're putting 4 bodies this way, it's a risk. And I've definitely seen guys get shot more often going to that D4. It's only a few times, maybe 3-4 times today, we've seen guys attempt that, but they've made it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like the way the Ironmen run it in front of everything, I don't like that route at all. I didn't see actually what route the Hurricanes went. I just feel like you're kind of running into the same gun. You're not forcing the shooter to choose. high or low. But
it looked like he just ran the route in between D1 and D2 and dove in.
I don't like that route.
I mean, he flattened out nicely,
yeah,
though.
Yeah.
He did not run chest up through that gap. He went horizontal through the gap. Yeah, the Hurricanes now 5 alive again, just pushing up slowly but surely. They have the lead to protect. It is up to Revo to push forward, and Revo does not want to go 0-2 with their rebuilt team. Caleb Abel in the insert bunker here, snake side. Benny Carroll doing some surgery on his gun.
Revo has lost a lot of their key players over the years, and they continue to field a very competitive team. It's been really impressive.
It really
You wonder if maybe it's finally catching up a little bit, but they have so many new players now that, time. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. But they've been incredibly impressive with how they've been able to continuously field a top 4 almost team, to where they could be a threat on Sunday, pretty much any tournament. I think if they would have got through us in Philly, they would have won the event.
Yeah, that was, once you guys had that crazy come from behind victory, it was kind of like destined almost to pull that one out. I remember when that happened, I'm thinking, oh man, if Dynasty wins this game, they're going to win this tournament. Sure enough, that's what happened. But yeah, that was an amazing match. It was one of the best matches of last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that might have been more in the running for best game of the year if it wasn't for the damage impact game that happened in Texas. Triple.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on, Marcelo.
I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't know how we didn't get the game of the year on that one, but it's all right.
Jesus.
It's okay.
It's all right. Hey, you always got to be your own
always
advocate.
Throwing shade our way.
Be your advocate. Yeah, we throw so much shade your way. So, yeah, similar situation here. Hurricanes with this lead to protect. 4 minutes left on the clock. Revo trying to find a way to punch forward. They do get Benny Carroll after doing some surgery. He's got his gun up and running. Oh, they are going to be losing. Is that Geiger or Sense? That's Sense. Sense taking the walk behind Abel. And as now 2 bodies pushing up on that D side here for the Hurricanes, and they get the shot on Geiger. Not looking good right now for Revo. Hammer about to get dropped in the center. Benny Carroll's just going to attack forward. Tom Ford is going to save Abel some pain and concede the point as Benny ran into the breach. So now a 4-1 game here in favor of the Hurricanes. I thought this was going to be a better match than this. So if you're Revo,
I did too.
So when I talked to the Diesel guys, they kept a good positive vibe even with their loss to the Ironmen. And it really paid dividends for them when they went on because they came out against Revo fired up, angry, aggressive.
Yeah, those guys are veterans, so they understand,
That's my point, though,
right?
Is that now we do have a lot of veterans. Henry's been here for a long time. Stephen Amara's been here for a long time. They don't have the veteran presence that Diesel has. But, looking in their pits, let's see. Do we got 1,000-yard stairs? They look a little disappointed.
Absolutely.
They look a little
shoulders
frustrated.
down.
Yeah, shoulders down.
I guess veteran isn't the right word or right term. Championship pedigree is. Right?
Yes.
On Diesel, you have players that they understand what it takes to go through a tournament and turn those losses into something, into a strength.
Yeah.
And actually, those losses in events, if you can learn from them quick, they become your best ally. You have to have them. You don't want to go through the prelims 4-0 untouched. That's always scary. You show up Sunday, you're like, I don't know, are we really this good, or have we just not seen anything yet?
Totally.
And typically it's that you haven't seen something and you're going to get surprised. Getting surprised on Sunday is never a good thing.
Well, and also as long as you can keep the point spread, close.
Yeah, that too.
You lose 2 games, you win 2 games the next day, and make it to Sunday, and then you went through that fire and emerged a stronger team, a stronger human being, individually and collectively. But it's about the mentality you take to those bad moments, right?
Absolutely.
It's like we always used to say back in the day, when things were going south, it was like, hey, don't get down, get up.
Yeah.
Rise to the occasion, boys. And that's what they need to do right now. It may not happen in this game, but this tournament is not over. We're halfway done, getting to be halfway done to the prelims. There's still 2 full games for them tomorrow. And, I couldn't agree more. It is crucial for a human being to do very difficult and stressful things to build resilience in regular life and in the metaphor that is paintball. So, absolutely, man. We've seen that none of the top teams ever just murder everyone all the time. Look at your guys' runs.
No.
So when you look at your finals performances last year, the 3 tournaments that you won, which is ridiculous, winning half the tournament, so congratulations on being beasts. But you guys won a lot of close games. A ton of close.
Absolutely.
1-point bloodbaths.
Absolutely.
Early on, and then, when you get to the finals, you're blowing up, murdering Houston Heat in Philly, handled damage easily.
But it's because of those close games.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
That's my whole point. And also, like, you guys didn't even make Sunday at the second event, you know. But you
that
guys
was a practice,
but
Maddie.
you guys
turned
that
one.
But you turned it as the history. But you turned that, you know, again, you turned that sorrow into energy.
Yes.
You know, and to motivate you
Good
to move
feel.
forward. 100%.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what Revo's dealing with right now, man. As we jump into another point with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left, down by 3. And yeah, this game's not over. Slower developing field. It's a big task to score 3 points in 3 minutes on a field like this, but it's not impossible.
Not impossible. No, there is definitely a quick way to play this field, especially if you get kills early.
Also, if I was them, I'd probably be trying to think positively, like, all right, Hurricanes are due for a penalty. Let's go out there and
sure.
Try to hope that something goes our way. And they do shoot a body on the break.
Well, and you also just want to start piecing together small things that you could take into tomorrow, Close the point spread, try to put together a couple good points so that tomorrow you can go 2-0 with a good point spread.
Both teams losing a body. Cielos Cortez taking the walk for Revo, and Bailey taking the walk for the Hurricanes. Looks like Hurricanes going to be losing another body from the can, but Benny Carroll is on the Hurricane side of the field right now.
I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty, Matt. That Hurricane player was playing for a while, and the ref, they've been pretty consistent about the minors, which I like. I appreciate that, right? Yeah. If you're playing with a hit, unobvious or not, right, it's a minor. Surprised.
They even overturned a penalty today, which I haven't seen in forever.
Oh, wow.
But Jason went and looked at the replay, and it wasn't a major, so they overturned it. Just let you know that so you can argue your case.
Okay.
Something that happens.
Thank you. I mean, I like that. I think the refs are doing a great job. Jason's been doing a phenomenal job. And Revo's going to get this point.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Time left.
Probably about
2:17, 2:16. All right.
Geiger must be tired because he kind of jogged that one in right there on the finish. Point's good. Probably could have got there a second or two earlier, but hey, man, they still won the point. Still looking good out there, and got ourselves a little bit of a closer game. So, yeah, as far as the competition, that morning bracket, did anything stand out to you? I know we talked a little bit about it, but in case somebody's just joining us, is there any teams you're like, oh, this team's looking pretty good?
I think Damage looks really good.
Yep.
Yeah, like the way Damage is playing. I think this is, again, a good field form. Heard you guys talking about that, no doubt. But I feel like it's kind of the usual suspects. Really, this morning we were all watching at the house, and it was, how are the new teams going to do with their new players, right? That's a big thing. Or how are they going to come together? You're kind of looking to see how shots are on the break, if people are making certain spots. Seemed like it played mostly like we thought it was going to at practice. And so, yeah, we'll see as the event goes on if things end up opening up, because that's always an interesting thing, too. It being so slow right now in the prelims, actually, it could do one of two things. It could get a little slower, but I could also see it speeding up because people get so sucked into, okay, they're going to go short on this side, so we won't shoot that way. We'll put the extra gun over here. And that opens up opportunity to take big bites. If you time it well and you
just saw it in that last point, where
absolutely.
guns are starting to shift a different way, and all of a sudden the Hurricanes were able to take D4 or D3 off the break. And yeah, that it definitely could. I mean, typically things do slow down on Sunday, but yeah, I mean it's definitely possible because this is a little bit of a strange layout, so it's definitely possible.
Aftermath impressed. I was excited to see them win that game. Come out and look like they played well together. They've been playing every single weekend, so you'd love to see that. That's kind of old school. A lot of the teams don't really do that anymore. It's rare that you have teams. A lot of the top players will play every weekend if they can. At least try to get out there.
You guys, I use you guys as like that crew of San Diego or SoCal guys because I know you guys pretty well. Always in contact about stuff. Hey, how you doing? Obviously you guys post on social media, but some of these other teams out here, I'm like, dude, look at the Dynasty guys and look at look at Mouse. I mean, those guys are out there.
Mouse is out there every single
Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm saying. They're showing up to victory and they're just grinding, even though these guys are already at the top of the game. So, because it's harder to stay at the top of the mountain than it is to get to the top of the mountain.
Only if you don't put in the work.
Yeah, but that's you can get people get complacent.
You gotta stay
sometimes.
hungry.
So a couple bodies getting chewed up here as we're under 2 minutes to go. And a little reposition here, Snake side, as Revo trying to find a way to. I mean, they still got a chance. 2 points, minute 42 seconds left. It needs to happen quick though.
Yeah.
So Sean getting shot out, trying to take some ground over here. Oh, but then Ripple's going to be taking the walk. Did he trade? Who shot Nick? Not sure where Nick got shot. And here comes Revo pushing up on that D side.
I don't see how many players are alive for the Hurricanes, but I think it's just the one Revo player, right?
I think it's 1 Revo and 2 Hurricanes.
Okay.
And Hurricanes just dove out to the back corner bunker on the snake side to spread the field here.
Both corners.
Yeah, so both corners hot, and I mean, at some point I'm guessing that Revo's going to try to make something happen, but now that they have the spread at 2, I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy if it ended this way. I mean, because it's a 1-on-2 situation. So and they haven't blown the horn yet, right? So, I mean, worst case scenario for Revo would be somehow this guy, I can't see who that is. It might be Henry. They lose this one.
I think it's MP.
Okay. But worst case would be, you know, if he
Cozy Rev.
Yeah. Oh, is it Cozy Rev?
I think so.
I thought that was a pretty. I thought that was a pretty good pickup for Revo. Cozy Rev's had some really good points out there.
I could be wrong. Thought it was.
I don't think that's Cozy Rev. Cozy Rev's not that thick.
Number 15. I think so.
Is that Cozy Rev? Might be. I don't see him standing around. Well, it's up to him, whoever it is.
Yeah, he's definitely making moves right now. Oh.
Well, that is going to do it.
Yeah, that's
going to do it. Hurricane's going to take the victory. Got to let you go, Marcelo.
Yes, Maddie, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Check
it.
out
Great games today.
His project, Play the Game Podcast, on all of the places you can consume a podcast, doing amazing work, telling some stories, and keeping the fires lit. So that's going to do it here as we're looking the pits with the Hurricanes triumphant in this set. Next up is going to be Dynasty taking on the Saints and X Factor taking on Legion here at the 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. I'll see you in just a few.